All right, let's jump right in. The AI world is moving at an incredible pace, but there's this really fundamental shift happening that you need to know about. See, the race, it's not just about who has the biggest model anymore. Now it's all about strategy.
I mean, it feels like every single week there's some new, mind-blowing AI model dropping, right? But that brings up a really interesting question. When all the models are, good enough, how does anyone actually compete? What's the new playbook here? Let's dig into that.
And I'm not kidding. It's like if you look away for a second, you've missed something huge. Just in the past few weeks, we've seen this absolute flood of major new releases. Honestly, it's getting kind of hard to keep track of it all.
And we're talking about the big players here. You've got Mistral, you've got DeepSeek, Anthropic. They all just dropped these incredibly powerful new models. I mean, each one is pushing the envelope in its own way. The speed of this stuff is just wow.
All right, so let's get into it, because this is where things get really strategic. See, with so many of these amazing all-purpose models floating around, the game's changing. It's not about being the biggest anymore. Nope. Now it's about being the absolute best at one particular thing.
And check this out. This basically shows you the new battlefield. These labs aren't just throwing things at the wall. They're very deliberately carving out their own unique space. So you've got DeepSeek, and they're going all in on being the master of reasoning and tool use. Then there's Mistral. They're making multimodality, vision, a standard out-of-the-box feature. And Anthropic, they're laser-focused on making Claude the go-to co-pilot for every software engineer out there.
Yeah, and this is absolutely not an accident. It's just like AI architect Gabe Goodart says here, it's a conscious choice. It's a strategy. This is how they're planning to stand out in what's becoming a very, very crowded field. We're literally watching the next phase of AI competition unfold.
So this whole idea of specializing, it's tied directly to this massive debate that's been bubbling up in the AI world. For the longest time, the mantra was simple: scaling laws. Bigger is better. Just throw more compute at the problem. But is that still the right way to think about it?
And that's the big question, right? Are we starting to hit a wall? Is there a point where just adding more and more power, more GPUs, stops giving us those huge leaps forward that we've kind of gotten used to?
This really breaks down the whole shift in thinking. The old way, the scaling law, was all about brute force, more power. But this new idea, let's call it the experimentation law, it totally reframes the whole thing. The goal isn't just to build a bigger engine anymore. It's about using that massive engine to run a ton of experiments, way faster, so you can discover smarter, better algorithms. Exactly. Like Gabe Goodart says, it's not just add more compute. It's add more compute so that a bunch of people can experiment. That's the key. Compute power is becoming a tool for discovery, not just the end product. I mean, think about it. Our brains haven't gotten any bigger, but our tools have let us do incredible things. It feels like AI is heading in the same direction. Progress from smarter ideas, not just bigger hardware.
Okay, so this is where the rubber meets the road. All this amazing tech is now slamming right into the reality of business. And we just saw the perfect example of this clash play out between OpenAI and Amazon.
So here's what happened. OpenAI rolls out this really cool shopping research agent in ChatGPT. Its job? To browse the web and find you the best deals. Naturally, one of the first places it goes is Amazon. I mean, where else? And what does Amazon do? Bam! They block it. Doors slammed shut.
And I love this quote from Aaron Botman at IBM. It's just perfect. It's like Amazon told the agent, sure, you can window shop, but then lock the front door. The agent can see the store, but it can't get inside. So the big question is, why? Why would Amazon do that?
Well, it really just boils down to classic business 101. First, they want to protect their data. It's incredibly valuable. Second, they want to control their own shopping and ad business. And maybe most importantly, they want you to use their AI shopping tools, things like Rufus and Alexa Plus. It's all about building their own ecosystem, their own walled garden. So, let's zoom out for a second. What does this all really mean? Because this isn't just about one shopping bot getting blocked. No way. This little skirmish, it points to a much, much bigger fight over what the future of the internet is actually going to look like.
And we're really at a fork in the road here. There are two potential futures. On one hand, you have the dream, this open world where your single personal AI agent can just go anywhere and do anything for you online. But on the other hand, you have the reality that seems to be forming. And it looks a lot more like a bunch of separate walled gardens, a world where you're going to need an Amazon agent and a Google agent and so on just to get things done.
And that's the real kicker here. The biggest thing holding back that awesome dream of a universal AI agent, it might not be the technology. It's the business competition. This has shifted from being a race to build the best AI to a battle between platforms.
Which leaves us with a massive question for the future. We're right on the edge of these AI agents becoming our new web browsers, our main way of interacting with the entire digital world. So are they going to be a key to an open, connected internet? Or are we just going to end up with a whole new set of competing walled gardens and locked doors? Honestly, how we answer that is going to shape the internet for years to come.